team lead of the SUSE documentation team. That may be new to some of you. I have become a lizard, and I was asked to do the keynote here about do good things and talk about it. So, who is this guy? I can't see you, but who doesn't know me? Good. Anybody got a clue what I'm going to be talking about? No, don't think so. I've got news for you, several news, and I will tell you where you find me. And between these things I'll have lots and lots of funny pictures, some cats of course, some cat pictures as always, and a lot of things about myself. It's pretty early Friday morning, right? It was in the newspapers that I changed my job, and should I stay close to the mic? Okay. As you can see, the New York Times wrote about it. I'm a former journalist. I'm an old-time Linux geek. Well, old-time. I've started Linux in 1994, and that's why I call myself a seasoned nerd. I was told English people don't know what a DAO is. What DAO means? That's the German term for dümmste anzunehmende user. So that's the most stupid user that you probably ever could assume or ever could think of. And I'm a priest, I'm a diplomat, I'm a Jedi Knight, and I own some property on the moon. Not kidding. I do, I will. I will. Got your face. And in March, since March this year, I started working with a absolutely sensational team. I left the big singles capital in Munich and I went to the city of Lebkuchen, Bratwurst, Sauerkraut, Christkindl, and the castle, and of lizards. I didn't have a choice because I'm on a mission. So I can't walk around because I don't have the mic, right? Okay, then this is okay. I'm not religious, I'm an atheist, but I'm a priest, a minister, as you can tell here. I'm a priest of the Universal Life Church. I was baptized and ordained on Sunnyvale Beach in Florida. I can marry you if you want. To anybody you would like, okay? You choose the ritual. And all the Universal Life Church requires is be a good human being, do good things. Basically, it sums up to just do the right thing. That's all the Universal Life Church has as its credo. Well, and obviously, as I'm doing right now, we are obliged to talk about it, but we're not religious people. This is my certificate, so as to prove that I am a priest. But I'm also a diplomat of the Conch Republic. Anybody knows that? Hey, cool, great. We are one nation under the sun. The sun of Florida. The sun of Key West. The warm sun of Key West. The very warm sun of Key West. So I'm pleased to introduce you to the Conch Republic. We are inspired to do good and talk about it again. And the main thing that ties together my people under my president is that it's also written in our passports that we are striving to fight any kind of force and brutality and harassment in this world by the application of humor. And lots and lots of humor, and do good things and talk about it again. So this is our flag. The conch is this animal that you can see here. It's a sea snail, we would say in German. And being part of the South, which Florida definitely is, and yes, also the Florida Keys are part of the South, of the beautiful South, we seceded where others failed, and we seceded from the USA in 1982 after some quarrel about drug trafficking from Cuba to the US and stuff like that. And there was a 5-minute press conference by my president, which was the mayor of Key West, and in this 5 minutes he declared war upon the USA. He declared total capitulation, and he demanded $1 billion of reparations. And after that, there have been some small events that even the United Nations made even the United Nations aware of us. So we are on our way. Oh, mind the date, 1982 that was. It's going to be in there later. This is my passport. I'm a diplomat, as I told you. So obviously it was only a question of time until I was really selected and detected. And now I'm a Jedi Knight. And guess what they are fighting for? The good cause, of course. I don't like swords, sabers, or crosses, so I chose the word as the weapon of choice. This is my certificate of being a Jedi Knight. Anybody still surprised that after I chose the word, I have a mission, and I'm a diplomat, so it was pretty clear that I had to be a journalist someday in my life. And I've been doing that for 8 years, and I never was unbiased. I wouldn't say that if it was recorded or sent through over the internet or on camera, but I never was unbiased. I always had the open source thought in my mind. And that also says the high priestess that ordained me. I say hi to her. I always was in favor of the open source mission. That was the Linux magazine, or is the Linux magazine in Germany, where I used to work and spend the last 8 years. So, but so much talk about me, that must be boring. So here's some kittens for you. Do you know, does anybody know this girl, this lady? You all know them. Anybody knows Hitchcock's movie The Birds? That's Tippi Hedren. I mean, she was an advocate for animal rights in her later life. And perhaps on this picture you recognize her better. That was her early days. And she fought for the good thing and talked about it. I love those pictures, and I love her kitten. Even though it might be expensive to feed. Or insurance. So, it may be shouldn't be a surprise that after all those good things or after talking about all those good things, I joined the SUSE team, and I joined the sensational SUSE documentation team. We have a website. I guess you all know that. We have thousands of pages of documentation, all related to SUSE products. We have 8 specialists working on SUSE documentation right now, full time. We have a growing team. We have offices in Nuremberg and Prague, where my folks are sitting and working and doing extraordinarily great work. And we cover all the SUSE products, as you know. Also the newest ones, like here we have the enterprise storage, we have the SUSE Cloud 5, and down here we also already have the SAP Applications 12, which is fairly new. So they're doing a great job. And you know what? Just imagine this young man is a DAO. He's a user, right? And some of them, trust me, I know what I'm saying, some of them will always try to use the software that you write in a way that you would never imagine. That's why I chose this little GIF, because I mean, and that's why we need you. Yes, you, all of you. No matter if you're developer, artist, linguist, user, DAO, or nerd. The users need you, and they will love what you write, and we are there to help you. You can contribute on several sites. We have at least 3 sites where you can contribute, especially you out there in the internet. Come to us, write documentation, write small things, small items. Just if you find out something, write about it. There may be more links than these, but it's very helpful, and there's lots of resources in there already. We have the OpenSUSE wiki, we have ActiveDoc website, we have the comment section of the existing SUSE documentation, and well, there's people that you can ask, like us, or the OpenSUSE mailing list. Oh, I forgot one thing. I'm an owner of Lunar Property, and this is an invitation. Who is able to bring me and my party folks there is invited to the 40th anniversary of the Conch Republic, which is when? Said before, 1982, we separated. Huh? 2022, right. If you want to go there with me to my lunar real estate, there's a big party with lightsabers and a priest celebrating a right. You just get the traffic, get the transportation organized, then you'll be in with us. So this is my lunar property, this is the D, and well, up here, about on the top you see the black spot. That's where I own some acres of land on the moon. Join me, everybody's invited. Just get us there. At this point, you should be asking yourself something. Yes, you really should. What is this guy talking about? Well, obviously good things, haha. Well, I've been talking about me mostly. I've been telling you about me, but now I'm talking about the past, the present, the future. Well, not the good, the bad, and the ugly. No, I can see you. Maybe it's better to assume I just don't know what I'm talking about and what I'm. Well, you see that in the personal disclaimer at the back of this deck. And I went around the last days and had some pictures shot at the SUSE office in Nuremberg, just to show you again what good things you, everybody in the SUSE community, OpenSUSE community did in the last, well, 20-something years. This is the office of my colleagues, of my team, where they have the posters of all the SUSE distributions, almost all. There's some white spots in there. These are the books that they've written over the years. These are the CDs, DVDs that you produced over the years. Well, anybody remember this? This is the small one. Well, the really small one. Oops. Well, that was where it all started in 1994. It's so funny that that was the same year that I started with Linux. I remember a friend of mine coming to me with lots and lots of floppy disks, and I felt like this guy jumping on the roller on this training device, because there was no X server with the Linux he left me with, so I was stuck with the CLI. Oops. Anybody remember this? Is there somebody here who used that? No, yes. We're probably the only ones. It's crazy. I had a discussion with my boss at Linux Magazine because he didn't believe that I had that one. I started in summer 1994, and I had root for it. But he said he had been around then also, and we were about 10,000 people worldwide. That was amazing. I didn't know that. I consider myself not being that technical. So yeah, SUSE was spelled differently then, some ways differently. But you can really find strange things in Nuremberg. There were good times, and there were bad times, and there were other times, and sometimes people felt like having to work with a split brain. Anybody get this joke? Quantum mechanics, a little bit. But in the end, see, there's free room in this shelf. We can go on, we can do more, and we're doing cool stuff. We're doing good things. The right one, the big wooden chameleon is the big wooden gecko is a produce of last year's Hack Week, or last year's Hack Week, which I find really amazing. It's about that size, and it's you want to see it. We're doing a Hack Week twice a year. We're doing that up to now once a year. I guess somebody said we'll be doing that maybe twice a year. And it's great fun, and do good things and talk about it. Oops. And of course we're in Franconia. No other Linux distribution has that. Which means we have arrived at the present. What's the time? Oh, that looks good. And at present time, it is pretty clear that there will be a big party. So the first announcement was me. I'm here. The second announcement is the party. There's going to be a big party, I was told. And I'll make 5 announcements in this speech overall. We have 10 years of OpenSUSE. 10 years? Fuck. They grow up so fast. This is crazy. I can't imagine that it's already 10 years. Can you? And as I was told, in August 2015, OpenSUSE will be 10 years old. And the board unanimously agreed to celebrate that in an official birthday party. They will tell you how. The present is also filled with some amazing products. I really find them amazing. I found them already amazing when I still was at Linux Magazine. What does this picture show? Anybody knows it? Has anybody been at the OpenSUSE Mini Summit in LA? I showed this picture there already. I had a talk about a special software that one guy in the second row has developed some years ago. Any idea? Well, what you see here is a bug that passes QA. And obviously the tool that I'm talking about is OpenQA, an automated testing system invented in 2010 or something by Bernhard Wiedemann, who's sitting here. And it runs daily tests on the OpenSUSE development tree named Factory. Well, now it's not Factory anymore, it's called Factory, it's Thunderbird. Thunderbird, oh my God. Tumbleweed. I wrote it Thunderbird, oh my God. That's why, fuck. Sorry. It works by booting up an ISO image, which is automatically generated daily from the Open Build service. In a virtual machine, installs, boots, starts some applications like Thunderbird. That's where Thunderbird should have been in. And takes screenshots during install and compares it with pictures that have been shot before, and thus can give you red or green, positive or negative test results. This is what it looks like on the website. I'm sure you all know it. But it's not only testing SUSE, it's also testing Android, for example. It's testing Fedora and other stuff. Or you can do that. And as you can see here, the pictures taken during installation, here with Fedora, are automatically assembled to a video, so you can see the whole boot process, a startup process of the distribution or the ISO image that you are testing. So this is the quality assurance of Tumbleweed and other things. See one of the announcements later. Then we already said the Open Build service. That's an open and complete distribution development platform designed to encourage developers to compile packages for multiple Linux distributions, including SUSE, OpenSUSE, Red Hat, Mandriva, Ubuntu, Fedora, and Debian. Yes, we're open. You're open. Cool. Some hundreds of CPU cores. I don't know what is the current state, 600 or 800? Does anybody know? Huh? 400. But 400 to 600 threads, so-called workers, are running and building stuff. Then we have Kiwi, also part of the OpenSUSE infrastructure, for building ISO images, for building operating system images, and like for virtualization, or CDs and DVDs, and of course YAST, the true evergreen that nobody else has. Everybody envies us. And the one central configuration tool for both OpenSUSE and SLE. You all know that. Wow, that was the present, but has he got news? Not really. I've got big news. SUSE is awesome. Now if you think of some American ex-journalist, no, it was Bill Gates that said that. He said that when Brian Lundug left Microsoft in 1999 and when he had heard that he joined SUSE. Then he said, SUSE is awesome. So Brian is with us. Welcome, Brian. And best wishes to America. No, that's not the really news. The news is first time announced by Kulo at FOSDEM. The sources of the enterprise server will arrive in the Open Build service. To explain that, you need to understand some things. Tumbleweed. What is Tumbleweed? Tumbleweed is a rolling release. That's a tumbleweed. That's not a Native American plant. It was brought to America. It's from some Asian desert or whatever. And it's the rolling release of SUSE. Factory was the development release, and now Tumbleweed is sort of both. And then there were special secret projects running. They were called Core or Cornerstone. But in the end, people decided to go back to the elements. Oh, I see somebody smile now when I said this word. Richard will explain all the details in this keynote. Ludwig will explain some details, some other details in this keynote, and the board will explain more details in their keynote. They are here, so ask them. The fact is, elements. That was the super secret SUSE project, SSSP. Introducing elements. Huh? Not the name? Oh, you got me wrong. Huh? Huh? The project then cannot be named. I got you wrong on that. But the next thing is basically a quote of from your mail. The release of SUSE Linux enterprise sources into SUSE build server will provide a sort of base for future OpenSUSE releases. For users that prefer stability in long term over fancy recent but maybe less stable new software. Sort of like the difference to bridge the gap between like Tumbleweed or Factory and SLE sources. Right on that? Good. Sorry for the name, I got you wrong. And backports, is that right? That's basically OpenSUSE for SLE customers, but that's part of Ludwig's talk. The next announcement, there's going to be a new OpenSUSE website. Is it up yet? But that's the mock-up. Yeah, that's even just a screenshot of the mock-up. I said I'm no tech. And the fifth announcement, OSC is coming back home. Next year in 2016, I heard it will be in Nuremberg. That's also something that's going to be announced. I guess that's something the board is going to explain and announce in their meeting. Huh? The town's right, all the other one. Cool. Well, the announcement number one was correct. I hope so. Elements and backports is code names. Okay. A new website. OSC15 is in Nuremberg. And we have OpenSUSE's 10th birthday party. Right? I'm almost through. You don't have any questions? That's nice. Thank you. So join the conversation, contribute, and have a lot of fun with OpenSUSE.org. Thank you. Oh, I forgot something. Who's that? Here's my name, my personal disclaimer and stuff. So if you have any questions, ask me, ask us. I'm happy to announce Richard as the next keynote speaker. Thank you very much.